This was my worst nightmare. This was something that growing up I never wished it to happen to me. But to be honest, hey favorite, welcome back to another video. So today we are going to be talking about blended family. If you're seeing my face for the very first time, my name is Doris. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a business owner. Right here we do lifestyle, faith, lifestyle, and self-empowerment videos like this one. So today we're going to be talking about blended family. Let me know in the comment section, do you think a blended family refers only to couples of different race? Because I feel like most times when we talk about a blended family, we're always thinking of a white couple or a white and black couple. So what is a blended family? A blended family is basically a family situation where you have one or more kids that were brought into that family. So kids that are not natural or biological children of both parties. So you have a stepchildren situation going on. The question is, do you see yourself getting married into a blended family? Do you have issues getting into blended family? In our community, we say getting married to a man with kids is always common with men getting married to a man with kids, and then you also have the man talking about getting married to a woman with children. You have all these stigmas. Today I want to talk to my gender. And so today I want to share with you some of the dramas that goes on in a blended family. Just so if you're a single girl out there thinking of getting married and you are thinking of getting married into a blended family, I want to share with you some of the things you might encounter so you can prepare yourself for them before getting into it. Also, it can help you better decide if this is something you really want to get involved in. One, okay? Saying the very first thing you want to take into consideration is the fact that you're always going to be having ex-partner interference in your marriage. Now, remember that a blended family is first and foremost because there is a child that you bring into your marriage, be it from the man or from the woman. Or if you're a single woman getting married to a man with kids, you should already understand that you are always going to have baby mama drama. It's sometimes very flexible when it comes to baby daddy. Baby daddy don't really cause a lot of drama, but my gender, our problem is out of this world. So we are always causing one trouble or the other. So these are some of the things you need to have in your mind, that there's always going to be some form of extended connection between your husband and his ex, or your husband and his ex-wife, because he is the mother of his children. And sometimes some baby mama they act sometimes like little witches, like they're like, I need to make your life miserable. So they'll want to really use the fact that they have a kid with your husband to really make your home to be unstable. So how does knowing this help you? It will help you to guide your decision and to guide the conversation you will be having with a man that already has a kid before getting married to them. You need to understand this and have a conversation with him to see his stance, because sometimes some men don't really understand how this might affect the woman they're going to get married to. Okay, so they are just really not serious about it. But if you feel like this is something that will disturb you, it's good to have a conversation with your partner or with your husband to see his stance. What does he think about it? Is he the type that is going to lean more towards, they are my kids, I can't do without my kids, when he can clearly see that the ex-wife or the ex-girlfriend or the baby mama is using the kid as a link, okay, to stir up trouble, or as a link to get back to the wife. Whatever the situation is, you need to have this conversation with the husband or with your husband to be. And when you're clear and satisfied that he can handle the situation in a way that is going to be less stressful to you, then you can go ahead and say, yes, I do. Okay. The second thing I want you to note as a lady before getting into a blended family is financial stress. I want you to pay attention that there's always going to be a financial stress. It doesn't matter if you're getting married to a millionaire or a billionaire or whatever, there's always going to be financial stress. Why? I want you to understand that getting married to a man that has kids already means that he still has to perform his duties as father to his children. So you should be able to understand this and note that if, let's say, if the family budget is 100,000, for example, for your home, then his own family budget can be like 150 because he has extra marital activities to handle, which is maybe taking care of his children on a monthly basis. Now, this problem can be very bad for you depending on who is a baby mama to your husband. Now, if the person who is a baby mama to your husband, or if the ex-wife, I want to use these names, a baby mama is someone that was never married to the man. This person just had kids with the man, right? An ex-wife is someone that was married and then got divorced. So let's assume that the ex-wife or the baby mama or the girlfriend or whatever is someone that depends solely on the husband for the survival of their kids or their children. My sister, you are in for a long thing. What this means is if those kids, they have to drink water, poo, dress, go for vacation, I don't know, anything that has to do with the upkeep of the mother of the children, if that woman solely depends on their dad for that, you are in a big problem, which means that the budget of your home plus the budget of your husband can be, instead of 100K, can be like 300K, which means that maybe your husband is spending 100K in your house and then has to spend 200K extra outside, and he will give you the excuse of, I'm not responsible for the children, their mother cannot do this, their mother cannot do that, and they are my kids, I can't leave them to suffer or this or that, but you can also work so you can help me to take care of the needs of these children at home, but this one, their mother cannot do anything. All that story will pop up. This is why it's very important from the onset to define the finance of your home, how it's going to be run, and let your husband understand that he should not make the baby mama or ex-wife to feel like they can control the finance at your home by coming up with unrealistic bills and stuff, because let's be honest, the kids in your house are priority, whether you like it or not. Okay, the kids in your home are priority. It's as simple as that. So you can't begin to find yourself in a situation where a man will tell you, because you work, you're not getting married to sacrifice your needs for your kids for others. Okay, so have a deep conversation with your husband. Let the both of you agree on how you are going to be taking care of the other children. Again, if these children solely depend on their dad for survival. But if you have a baby mama or an ex-wife like myself, you don't have a problem. If your husband I'm laughing. If your husband's ex-wife is somebody like me, believe you me, you will not have any financial problem, because I'm an independent woman. My kids have solely been on me, so whether your husband sends or your husband does not send is none of my business. But to find ex-wives or baby mamas or like us is rare. So it's really good to understand this before you get into a relationship with a married man, that or with an ex or with a man that has children. It's good to define the financial wahalas involved, okay, because this will always come up. And sometimes, believe you me, sometimes you need to sacrifice some stuff in your home to actually let your husband be able to take care of some stuff outside. Point. Now I'm gonna be all right, this one I call it the demons name calling. I don't know how to put it, but what I'm trying to say is that be ready to be called a bad woman, a bad stepmom. Just be ready to be called this name by your husband, ex-wife, or or baby mama. Whenever something doesn't go the way they want, they will always blame you for it. Be ready to be called these names from your husband's ex-in-laws. For example, your husband baby mama's mother, or your husband baby mama's sister or brother. Whenever something doesn't go well in the life of their grandchildren or their nieces or nephew, they will always fall back to you and blame you for it. A typical example is if your husband's daughter or child is having financial issues, like if there is something that needs to be taken care of urgently and your husband doesn't have that money to take care of it, maybe because generally you guys don't have money at that time at home, things at home are tight, or because there's also a financial situation at home that needs to be taken care of that cannot be sacrificed, and this is a decision that the both of you have reached out to, or your husband simply doesn't have money and you two, you don't have money to support the husband, believe you me that the baby mama is always going to blame you for being the reason why the father to her children is incapable to take care of the child. They're going to blame you for the child not sleeping well at night. They're going to blame you for the child having running stuff. In fact, just be ready to be having all this name calling is part of it. So if you know you cannot take this name calling, you cannot digest it, drink water and still live your happy life, don't get involved with a man that is married. I have some bizarre scenarios that, of course, in this story time, I'm going to be sharing it guys with you, but if you want to hear that sort of story time, make sure you subscribe. Okay, we are going to move to the next point. Okay, the next point I want to talk about is parenting conflicts here. If you are moving into a home or you're getting married to a man that already has children, okay, let's say that this man was in a marriage setting with the ex-wife and both of them were living together with their kids, and so the woman, generally being the mother of the home, is in charge of raising the children 80% of the time because we spend more time with our kids, right? Now, the parenting skill of them, of your ex-husband and this said wife, will be completely different from yours, okay? So what happens now is that when you get married to your husband, and if these kids have to come and live with you because your husband has custody of the children, there becomes a conflict right there, because one, the kids need to adjust to your own system of parenting, which, depending on the age of the child, they might consider, if yours is tougher and more strict and more principled than their moms, they will want to begin to say you are a bad stepmother, you're a wicked stepmother, you hate them and all of that stuff. But also, it's going to take a lot of time for the kids to adjust to your new parenting system. Now, someone will say, but Doris, what if these children are not living with us, they only come for weekend? There is still an issue here. Why? Assuming that you and your husband already, you have kids of your own, and these other kids have to be visiting only during the weekend. Remember, your parenting system is okay for your children. Your children are already used to that style of parenting. They're already used to of mommy's principles, of the principles of your home. Now, when the children that are coming on visiting rights or hours or days are at home, you will still have an issue of parenting conflict, because you will be torn between the choice of, okay, they have just very few days to spend with their dad or to spend with their mom. I should just let them feel free and relax and just go on as if they were in their house. Now, that might sound so good to you, okay, and also very okay for the kids, but don't forget that you have your own kids at home that are used to a certain style. So when they see mommy or daddy being relaxed simply because you have these other children coming over, it creates conflict with your own children, because they begin to ask themselves, but why is it that mommy and daddy are soft, or mommy and daddy are like this, or mommy and like daddy are this, when these other children come around? And when children begin to process things like that, it creates rivalry in between them. It creates competition, it creates jealousy, it creates something like they begin to feel like these other children are being given preferential treatment. Another side of it is when these other kids come into your home and they feel like they can just be doing anyhow, it has a negative impact also on your children, because Whether you like it or not, they are going to learn some of the bad habits, because if they have bad habits that you don't tolerate with your kids, for example, they don't respect nap time, some minor things, okay, it's easier for children to copy bad habits than for children to copy good habits. So whatever the case is, you need to stick to one parenting style with your kids and with your stepchildren. Whether they're in your home for 1 hour or 1 second, they should be able to have that demarcation, that difference of, here is papa's house or here is mama's house. This is how we are supposed to act here, and in our own house, this is how we are supposed to act. So it's up to them, and that way you keep your children safe. On you don't get them confused and avoid all the unnecessary extended stress that can come out from there. Okay, so the next thing I want to share is it's funny, but I call it "you are not my mom" syndrome. Okay, the last but not the least, sorry, that I want to share with you now is communication crisis. This one is very typical. Already, a blended family is somehow a complex family, right? Because you have children that are coming from different parents, and as much as you need to do your best for let your partner understand that you love their kid, there is something about communication. You have to be very sometimes be as if you're walking on eggshells, so that you have to be able to choose your word properly, know how to construct your sentences, so that if you have to say something that has to do with the children of your partner, it doesn't come across as if you don't love my children, or this, or you're selfish and stuff like that. Those are some of the challenges that come with it, because sometimes in the heat of the moment, you can just say something out of anger or out of just because it's the heat of the moment, and then your partner will be able to now translate that to mean that you don't like his kids or you don't like her kids. So these are some of the things that you need to know. You always have communication issues, but again, nothing past arrangement, right? If both of you understand yourself and are on the same boat, having the same vision for your family, I think this is something that you can easily navigate. Okay, so we've come to the end of this topic. Blended family. This was my worst nightmare. This was something that growing up I never wished it to happen to me, but to be honest, I would say I saw this coming. Why? Because of the choice I made from as a ex-husband. Okay, the choice I made, it was clear to me from the very first year that I might end up in a blended family. Why? If you want to know why, watch this next video. It talks about, before saying yes to a marriage proposal, consider this factor. So this is why. So I somehow knew I was going to find myself here because of. So watch this video if you want to know why, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And let me know in the comment section what other things you think happen in a blended family. And let me know, are you someone that is open to getting married to a man with kids or a woman with kids? Or if you ask me, in my honest opinion, if you can avoid it, avoid it. Just save yourself the headache if you can. But if you cannot, if life happens to you like it happened to me and many other women and men out there, of course, you should give it a try. But please make sure that some of these things and many more that happens in a blended family, study them and find a way around it before you say yes to "I'll marry you." I'll see you in the next one. Remember, God loves you so much. Bye.